And we are live. This is Rational News. I'm your host, Rational Outlaw, and today I have two guests with me, and hopefully we'll have a few more coming in later. Let's start with Cog. Cog?
95% of statistics are all made up. True story.
All right, and...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. And Kay?
Sweet.
Fuck Christmas.
No, not fuck Christmas. I love Christmas. All right. So today's video is...
Fuck you, Rational.
Hey, you're my boyfriend, so don't say that. All right. So today is going to be on some political videos on Trump. So they're going to be Christmas themed. And today is just going to be our fun little Christmas live stream.
Define fun.
Okay, my kind of fun. And maybe other people who like politics. All right.
He kidnapped me and Cog were held in his basement. Help. Send help.
Help. Please help.
It's dark.
Right. So.
And damp. There's a bunch of hacksaws around.
We'll probably get on to a few other things before we get into the video so we can give you time to do what you need. So you can go do what you need and we'll just wait for you, okay?
Sure. Well, I'll get... Is it going to be like an hour like it is normally?
Yeah, it should be like something like that.
I'll get food after. I'll at least just take this load of laundry down, so I'm going to mute myself.
All right. We'll go on to some articles, perhaps. Let me see if I can get some.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful articles.
Let's go to Facebook. So as you guys can see by the name, it's Merry Trumpmas. Like
wasn't funny the first time, still not funny now.
Hey, you said you liked it. You lying
yeah, the first time you used it.
All right, so let's see. I should have some saved articles on Facebook. All right, we already did that one. This might be an interesting one. Okay, I'm gonna screen share this. All right. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. Apple tries to cater to whiny SJWs with new emojis. Big mistake. Here's a new online crisis you haven't heard about yet. Likely because you're gainfully employed. Apple is set to release a new lineup of emojis in an attempt to pacify certain crybabies demanding natural hair be represented online. Emojis, hair, outrage. This is 2017. Guess how it's working out for them. While many are excited to see more diverse visual imagery, is that imagery? Whatever. Within technology, there are those who believe the look of these new tiny digital images are a little suspect. A significant number of people questioned the actual design. Now, I bet they were probably going, why is there a white person with black hair? Right?
Technically, if they're going by natural hair color, black hair color is not a natural hair color. Technically, we cannot achieve black hair. We can only achieve a really, really dark brown.
True. Jeez, you're acting like my brother.
Hey, I'm just living the facts here.
I don't even know why they have these superhero emojis. These look stupid to me. Same thing with this one.
They don't. Natural hair. Okay, let's see. Let's count how many are bald. 6 of them are bald. 6 of them look exactly the fucking same as one another.
Well, that's kind of the point.
No bitch has naturally orange hair. And nobody's skin is jello.
Yellow? Oh, yellow.
These people are enlightened alt centrists.
All right. Is this supposed to be natural hair? Question mark. My hair does not look like that. Here's your first look at all the new emojis coming next year. What's it going to take to get more representation? A visibly disabled person, wheelchair, should be represented. No interracial couple and or family emoji, meh face. At least I think that's a meh face. This oppression shall not stand, tisk tisk. Apple still hasn't learned its lesson from the last emoji crisis. See, sexist emojis are oppressing women. Yes, really. Social justice wads can never be satisfied. Their collective heft should tell you that much. So that's supposed to be like hive mind?
What?
Am I reading this right? Heft? Heft?
Collective heft.
I don't remember
Heft. Like heft, like hefty. You like
I've never
the
heard
groupthink. You know how the massive amount of groupthink, like heft is like a mass.
Ah, I see. I'd never heard that word before.
It's used to describe that.
Oh, you learn a new word every day. Well, maybe not every day, but yeah. Okay, it's not all bad.
You learn a new word every day when you're facing against the left.
I, for one, am pleased to see Apple implementing the new Hillary emoji. It's about time female Democrats have more representation among emoji cons. Is it supposed to be the poop one? This is what happens when tech companies politicize themselves. See, Apple goes full PC, replaces offensive gun emoji with squirt gun. Yeah, I see. It is replaced.
What do you do? But here's the thing: a squirt gun can still be just as deadly as a regular gun.
I think that's it.
That was Jesus. My life is. I'm gonna die now. With that in my head, thank you.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna stop presenting for just a sec. Let me see if I can find another article for us to go through. Let me know when you're done, Cog, okay?
I'm currently just making coffee. I'm upstairs, so.
Oh, so you good?
I can. Yeah, I'm good for now.
Okay, we can probably go on to one of the videos.
Oh joy.
Okay, let's see. Let's go to. The watch later list. Okay, we'll probably go through the shorter one. So that's going to be the Christmas story. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong one. Whoops. Okay, I think this one's shorter. Let me wait. There's a stupid commercial. There we go. Okay.
Damn.
Ready? I'm gonna. Sure.
I don't want to see your leftist ad, YouTube.
All right. I'm gonna zoom in. Hold on, let me turn it up. Too low.
Your Excellency, I've just received some disturbing news from the Hurricane Resettlement Camp in New Bethlehem, Texas. An unregistered colored boy named Jesus was born in a FEMA trailer to Jewish parents.
He's undocumented, black, Mexican, and Jewish?
A quadruple threat. We must put a stop to this before the child grows to become king of the Jews, or king of the blacks, or king of the illegals.
Yeah, okay. First off,
What the fuck is with that guy's Trump's voice? Why? I understand, but if you're trying to send a message here, get a go-to voice actor. Thank you.
What I was going to actually say is the fact that Trump's daughter actually converted to Judaism. His son-in-law is his grandchildren to his daughter are Jewish. So how does he hate Jews? And he seems to still really care about his daughter. So I say no to that. And as for blacks, he's done actually quite a lot for blacks, unlike Hillary. Yeah. And as for the whole immigration thing, it's only illegal immigration. It's not legal immigration. None of us have really any problem with illegal immigration. There's very few. Only the white nationalists care about immigration as a whole. That's about it. All right, we good?
I mean,
What?
it seems so cringy so far.
Oh yeah, the
video just seems.
That's the whole point, Coggy. It's meant to be cringy. Did you actually expect something with actual thought put into it?
Oh, this is fusion. Never mind.
Yeah.
Wise men produces this child.
Your Highness, the wise men are Iraqis. They were denied re-entry to the country under the Muslim ban 5.0. There was
Ironically, though, now it's been put in force until the Supreme Court hears it. So you lost there, lefties.
Oh, if we don't have the wise men, just send my kids. John sure did a
Dude, what is that noise?
Sorry,
Okay.
here, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. Okay, let's continue. Well, I guess we can address this point. So I don't see the point in attacking Trump and his businesses because he separated himself from his businesses.
Well, you have to in order to become a president. So
well, technically, you don't, even if you look at the law. I mean, he's done more than was actually necessary, although the left tries to say he still hasn't, because the interpretation of the law, I've done research on it, and it can be interpreted to mean a little bit differently because it never refers to specifically the president. It refers to other government officials. And every time the Constitution, or in particular portion of the law within the whole Constitution, whether something was referring to the president, it would always specifically talk about the president, not in a broad sense all politicians. They would refer, if they wanted to allow it to affect the president, it would say and the president or something like that. Because whenever it was written, they would always refer to the president separately, rather than with every other politician, or every other person in government. All right, let's continue.
Trailers from us last week.
We're really helping a lot of people.
This is where that baby Jesus lives. You two go arrest the family. I'll stay with the camels.
Okay, but promise me you won't kill them and pose for selfies with their corpses.
I promise.
Okay, as for that whole animal thing, I haven't done a whole lot of research on this, but I believe, if I recall correctly, that actually the whole hunting, the legal hunting, not the illegal hunting, but the legal hunting that goes for certain endangered species does actually help those animals because it helps raise money. Despite how much we dislike it or find it distasteful, it actually helps. The legal hunting. Now, obviously, there is the illegal hunting, which doesn't help in any way, but the legal hunting where people pay to hunt these animals, it helps those animals because it helps keep them. And I don't think they're usually hunting the healthy kind. I think they're usually meant, I don't know, maybe they are allowed to help hunt the healthy kind. I don't know. But anyways, from what I remember hearing, it does help. And not even all leftists actually believe it doesn't help, because I know Adam Ruins Everything from College Humor did a video on that. in which I agreed with him on the whole hunting animals thing actually helps, which quite frankly is interesting. But yeah, it's a misconception that it doesn't help animals. It actually helps them in the sense of raising money because, you know, people like hunting. Got any thoughts? Guys?
Yeah.
Incredibly. I think hunting does help animals in the sense that here, I'm gonna move my charger. Hunting helps animals in the sense that it prevents overbreeding.
That's true.
And it prevents from generally prevents overpopulation.
There's that. But I think they mainly complain about is the fact when people hunt endangered species usually. And when endangered species are hunted legally, it's not in the normal illegal hunting kind of sense, because that kind of hunting is usually to help raise money. Because those countries that pay for it, countries or organizations, I can't remember which, the people pay to hunt those animals, and all that money that they pay to hunt those animals, because they spend thousands and thousands of dollars to kill those animals, and all that money goes to helping preserve those animals.
Well, any sort of killing of an endangered species is really just fucking stupid in general. Even just hunting illegal. So.
Yes, but the whole point of this kind, because it's able to help still the animals, whether people dislike it or not, it still helps the animals in the long run.
And someone just got a notification.
That's just me. I forgot to turn my phone on vibrate.
All
right, ready? I'm gonna continue.
I'm nervous. I've never actually met a porter before.
Yeah, you have. Sean Spicer.
Oh, yeah.
You must be Jesus.
It is I, the Prince of Peace, the bread of life, the Son of the Most High.
No.
That's just so corny.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit I'd rather be doing than watching this stupid ass fucking shit.
Hey, calm down.
You have to go back to Mexico.
We're not from Mexico.
No back talk, lady. All illegals need to get deported to Mexico.
Leave my pen.
Okay, for one, Trump was not just saying Mexico. Now, the majority of illegal immigrants are from Mexico, but it's not going to be just sending illegals back who are from Mexico, or just sending them to Mexico. That's not the whole point. It's sending them to whatever country they came from, whether it was from another South American country, or if it was just from China. It's all illegals. It's not just Hispanics. Like, right. Seriously.
Parents alone. This is my cross to bear.
You too, DACA. Daddy says no anchor babies.
Okay, on the whole DACA thing, Trump actually, which I like the fact that we got rid of it, but the DACA was an illegal thing that was done by Obama. That was an overreach of power. That was an executive order. It didn't go through Congress. That was where Obama was making law. And I don't, whether it's a Republican, it doesn't even matter if it was by Obama. I don't care about that. Any president, whether Republican or Democrat, or even libertarian, if for whatever reason a libertarian would do that, but highly unlikely, even if they did that, I would not be for it, because that's not how our government is supposed to work. The president is not supposed to make law. That's left up to Congress. Congress makes law. The president just enforces law, and other things as well, and signs in law with when a law is proposed by Congress. Anyone else have thoughts on that?
Not really.
Well, yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree that the president's not supposed to make law, but I think that there might be some special periods of time when maybe that's necessary. Like maybe during wartime or something like that.
But something like this was not necessary. This was something that Congress should have handled, because this is not like life or death situation for the country.
Right. Even though your far left would say that it's life or death for the people that need the immigration status.
Yeah, but life or death, there's life or death people for all over. I mean, it's not going to affect that many people.
Right.
And it's not going to affect citizens, legal citizens in any way.
Right.
And let's go on. Whether people like DACA or not, I didn't like the fact that it went.
Well, there was no. Well, there was no need for it. Like, there was no need for Obama to executive order in a law.
Yeah. The only reason he did it is because he couldn't get Congress to do it. And that's why he did it, because he knew he couldn't get Congress to do it. So he decided to do it himself, making the law, which I really dislike. Okay, let's go on.
Or dreamer babies or whatever.
Christ almighty, I'm the son of God. I can crawl on water, heal cripples, and turn water into wine. What can you do?
I manage a charity golf tournament. Well, I email with the guys who manage the charity golf tournament.
And I make Chinese handbags so middle-class white women can pretend they're rich.
Okay, what exactly is wrong with being a business person? Like, and aren't the regressive left for women being able to be businesswomen and make fortune? So, like, isn't this kind of
because we're in a society now where we think big corporations are bad and big and evil?
Well, I think big corporations are bad in my personal view. Well, they can't do good, but I don't like particularly big corporations because they can cause problems. But even still, doesn't this go against the whole left's view of women should be CEOs and big people in business? Like, what are they trying to say here? They're so contradictory. They contradict themselves, I feel, a lot.
Look, I've lived here my whole life, just like you. You can't send me back to a country
You've lived here for what? Maybe 2 months, even though you're talking baby?
I've never known.
That doesn't directly affect me, so I don't care.
God, you people are awful.
And seriously, maybe we should just move on. Anyone else have any thoughts on that?
This is a stupid ass
Negative.
video. It's fuck fusion.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Kai, do you have any thoughts?
I agree with Kai. This is one of the worst videos I've ever seen.
Trust me, the next one's worse.
Oh god.
Great, Don. That was a ride out of this ghetto. I'll call Uncle Mnuchin and see if we can use the government plane.
Eric, help me hop this camel's head for Insta.
CNN is trying to crucify me.
Well, they do that actually truthfully a lot, in a sense, with all the actual lies they spew. Like, blatant lies.
Very unfair.
Hi, Daddy.
Hillary's a total Jezebel, a post-diluted in the time of Ham.
Did you eliminate the Jesus child?
Not
Is that a dog?
That is my dog.
Aww.
I'm gonna take care of that real fast. I'll be right back.
All right.
Then Don and Eric dry humped a dead camel, and we kind of forgot what we were supposed to be doing.
You have failed our plan for the last time.
There's a plan?
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Perhaps Jared can find new ways to motivate them.
My king of the Jews.
Or Queen of the Jews, according to his voter registration.
I don't judge. Feliz Navidad.
Oh, there's the Christmas. Okay. Maybe I can press on it. I couldn't reach this one before. Maybe it's still here. I was looking for this one. So it must be unlisted. I didn't watch it earlier.
Hello?
Are you ready?
No.
I haven't seen this one yet, so this will be the first time I've seen it.
There's something magical about the first snowfall of the year, especially when it comes late in June, on the last day of school before summer. Climate change has got Mother Nature all twisted and confused.
Okay, first off, for the whole climate change thing, I'm going to say it's not settled. Scientists actually disagree still a lot on it, despite what the media tries to portray. There's a lot of scientists who disagree on how much of a global warming we have. Some say it's catastrophic, but most say it's a mild warming. Most say we're going to die within the next 100 years. Really overblown, and there's a lot of evidence to say that it isn't necessarily man-made in the fact that what we try to do won't affect it, not say all that much.
I'm back.
Anyways, that's my point I wanted to just say.
What happened?
Oh, well, I found that video on the whole snowman one.
Oh, great.
And it's just somehow. All right. Do you have any thoughts, Cog?
No, I would agree. Like, while I won't deny that climate is changing.
Oh, I'm not denying that either. I'm just.
I would say
Why?
it's just
It's all
probably not as
conspiracy theory.
severe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
But the one thing that climate change can't change is kids' love for snow.
We're building a snowman, Karen. You can help with the head.
You're funny looking, fat snowman. He looks
These kids look like they got Down syndrome.
a 7-year-old man who never works out and puts ketchup on his steaks.
Huh. Yeah.
How in the world did you give that snowman a chin?
Oh, how is like
what kind of black magic bullshit does this go on?
Aren't regressives supposed to be against fat shaming?
And on top of that, why do all animator fusion? Listen up right here. It's okay to make your characters more interesting to look at instead of fucking doing this stupid shit.
Yeah, like this.
The blonde hair female and the fucking brown haired male looks the fucking same. Except one got to be with a fucking frying pan.
Here's these tiny sticks for his hands.
What do we call them? Tiny, dumpy.
What about Trumpy?
Yeah, Trumpy.
Where did his arms go? Weren't they just there like a second ago?
It's a sign of the patriarchy. Your white privilege is showing.
He's a snowman.
A different kind of snowman was
Great.
made. This one didn't have the
This would be on Animation Sins.
What? And what
This
are
should
those?
be on Animation Sins.
And what are those stains?
Hi.
Someone else here?
Yeah, Samurai. It's Gabe Samurai.
Hi, Gabe.
I'm the only human in a sea of avatars.
The only human to see it.
All right, are we ready?
I guess.
Can you at least catch me up on what the heck is going on?
Welcome to
Watching a
hell.
video called Trumpy the Snowman.
Well, Gabe.
That's
welcome
exactly
to
what
hell.
I was just getting off of a DM with the feminist.
Oh, God.
I just her. She's a nice lady, wonderful lady. But I just told her I was just invited to a live stream, and so I need to figure out what hellhole I'm getting myself into. So I will talk to you later.
Run, Gabe. Get out while you still can.
Oh, I can't. I just spent 5 hours grocery shopping, so yeah.
I apologize for that right there.
All right, are we?
Old people suck.
All right, are we ready?
You can talk to Rational about being old.
Hey, I'm not old.
Yeah, you are.
Cog is older than me.
Sure am.
Talking about old man.
Only 5 years older than you. All right, let's continue.
You know who's all ready for this is Snorlax.
Uh-huh.
Got a cold belly swollen from the frozen
And this rapping is just awful. I'm just gonna give a dislike right now.
I just want you guys to know that this is my final live stream before I turn 25 tomorrow.
Oh. You're turning 25 tomorrow?
Well,
You'll finally be an old man.
Happy almost birthday.
I really wish I had.
No matter what, Gabe, you're not going to be an old man. Only Rational is the old man.
Oh, I'm an old man, even though I'm almost 2 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Rational's just always going to be gay.
He's the gay old man. That's the point.
Gee, you're very nice to me, aren't you, boyfriend?
Like I
Well, apparently now this is a four-way where, unless this is a four-way, but it's a bad four-way because we're all beating up on Rational.
Don't roll like that.
All right, let's finish the video. We have one other.
Do we
video.
have to?
Yes.
God damn it.
Keep them warm. How about this cat? It's yellow and ratty looking. It's perfect.
Poor cat. Must have drowned in that hurricane last week. The monthly once-in-a-century storm that destroyed Karen's house.
Seriously, they're going to bring up the whole hurricanes thing. That was not Trump's fault. That was nothing like Trump's fault. Seriously, what is with them trying to blame even stuff that isn't his fault?
Because fuck Trump.
And
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I actually did extensive research on that. I've seen videos of people who live in Puerto Rico. One of a police officer who had to stay anonymous because of obvious reasons. All of them stated that Trump sent the resources, but the government was purposely not distributing them, let the cops do anything about it. And they never stated whether or not they liked Trump. They just simply stated that, the media is lying about him, and we're going to tell you so we're not getting distributed. And so, because of their dictatorship, we're too busy trying to look good in front of the camera than actually trying to do anything for their citizens. Carry on.
All right.
I live in the church basement with my family now.
In the place of a heart, he had freezing ice. A dead kitten on his head that was filled with lice. Mean and white, they built him at a decent height, but with the hardest little hands you've ever seen in your life.
Let's put it on Trumpy's head for hair.
We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to build that wall. Stand during the national anthem.
Look! Trumpy's alive.
Okay. The whole standing during the anthem. Okay, if someone wants to not stand during the anthem, yeah, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing was the fact that he's not saying that he's going to make a law that he can't. It was just the fact that, for one, what was his name? Kaepernick and all those football players were doing it for the wrong reasons.
Also, it's part of the NFL rules that you have to stand for the anthem. And another thing, if any of us started to do anything of that nature at our job sites, we would be fired on site, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
It's a business. If you want to do that stuff, wait till after work hours. You are not there to show any type of political stance, whether they're conservative, right-leaning, or left-leaning, while you're on the clock, period. Just like I'm not allowed to talk about Christianity, even though I'm a Christian, at work. But the NFL doesn't choose to stand by those rules, and that pisses me off.
All right, I'm going to play the video.
Hi! Holy Hi! I'm Karen.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Jose.
The brown kid looks Mexican.
I'm from Indianapolis. My great-grandfather was from Spain.
Bad hombres.
Huh?
My Must have been some black magic in that dead yellow cat. Trumpy thought he saw a Mexican and mentally snapped. Came to life and started screaming, we should send them back. And the kids were all confused at what he meant by that.
Come on, Trumpy, let's play.
What's play?
You know, what you do to have fun.
Like watching Fox and Friends?
No, play is what you do when you're not working.
What's working?
The
I know something we can do. Let's all go around the group and each of you say something nice about me.
You were talking long circles, crowd sizes, and monopolies. They built his mouth long so he couldn't speak properly. Stuttering and struggling to put together sentences while the sun was coming.
Okay, well, Trump isn't the only one who stuttered with all that. Obama has stuttered. Other presidents have stuttered. Every president has had their stuttering moments. Or
Obama's the king of stuttering.
Yeah.
It took him like 32 seconds to get to say the sentence, "My fellow Americans."
All right.
But one quick thing.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. It could be the volume level. But what is it with these idiots and wanting to have children swear?
Shock in the
shock value, probably.
Yeah, I just love how they're allowed to do it. And I'm not saying anybody should do it. I think it's disgusting either way. But they're allowed to do it with their kids. But if conservatives do it, it's seen as bad.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, eggnog.
Right. Well, that was kind of random.
I'm a random Batman. Deal with it.
Random Batman.
Another solar flare. That was a big one.
They've been getting worse since the adults destroyed the ozone layer. We better get Trumpy to safety.
Okay, the whole ozone layer was way before Trump. So why are they even bringing that up?
They want to pin everything they can on him. If their eggs are runny in the morning, they blame Trump for it.
Even things that were way before Trump.
Yeah. My child's a criminal. Blame Trump. I'm a horrible parent.
This is why I like. I love people like Denzel Washington, who doesn't blame everything on white man. He takes responsibility for his own actions, and he says that, you know what, it's as a society, it's actually the black community's fault that we're making it so easy for the law enforcement to arrest us.
Mm-hmm.
It's our fault. They're just doing their job. We're making it easier for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue.
Melt, and before his skin starts blistering again.
Climate change is a hoax. Fake news from China.
Kids tried to warn him he would melt from the heat, but he didn't pay attention. He was setting.
Okay. I have to ask this right here, right now.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you have to have a rapping in this kind of video? No kid is gonna sit here and watch this and go, "Oh man, I totally relate to it."
Well,
it's like that one adult who does this one corporate motherfucker that don't understand real people, so they go, "Okay, what's popular? Hip hop. Let's throw a black man in with a hip hop. Let's have him rap." Yeah, that's totally hip. Hey, how you doing, my fellow kids?
It's like the creepy black dude who did Rebecca Black's Friday.
It's yes,
essentially.
Exactly
that. All
right.
What's in right now? Trap.
He was too confident and foolish to budge.
Let's just leave Trumpy and go do something else. But he'll melt. Exactly. I see your point.
Works for me.
Science had its way with all of the snowmen. A foolish budges were the stupidest one. Climate change is real and it's leading to trouble. That's how the silly snowman turned to Trumpy the bubble.
Okay, I think we can end this video there.
Please, thank you.
Can I just say that even Al Gore, the dude who the whole global warming, climate change, man-made action of the ozone layer, which I'm not saying we don't have any part in it, but just this whole Yeah. Can I just say that even Al Gore said it was a complete hoax?
Yeah. The media has overblown it,
So,
and if you act... Yeah, I was going to say the media has overblown it, and if you actually look at what scientists have said, is they actually there's no consensus at all. The only consensus that you could say there would be for the majority is that they believe there is global warming, but most of them don't believe it's all that drastic. Unlike how the regress wants you to think it is.
Like if Bill Nye was correct on cow farts being the reason that the ozone layer is getting ruined, then how come it wasn't fully destroyed hundreds of years ago? I'm pretty sure cows fart thousands of times a day before any of this happened. Stupid.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay, I think that's all of the good points. Let me see if there's anything else. No, but
progressivism is a mental disorder.
Cog, why are you the only one who's not in ball form?
Oh, I haven't changed my Hangouts one yet.
Conform. You must conform.
Can I?
All right. One of us.
Absolute peer pressure. You don't have the balls.
Lol.
I'm sorry. That was a very bad joke, even for me.
All right. I'm gonna go on. Or if you guys want to talk for a sec, I'm gonna stop presenting because I want to check to see if we got any messages in the YouTube chat. So I'll be right back.
Okay, so Wolf Dude, what's your name?
You can pronounce it as Ko-K or just call me Wolf. It doesn't matter. But it's pronounced as Ko-K. Literally how it's spelled.
All I see on your Hangouts is K-I as in Kai in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I made this a long time ago, and I've yet to and I didn't
Gotcha.
bother changing the name. So
Gotcha. I mean, I'm just gonna not being rude. I'm probably just gonna end up calling you Kai from now until you change it.
I probably will never change it. So you have to get used to calling me that. I'm too lazy to.
It's association. If I see something constantly, and I just
no, I understand it. Trust me. Like depending on what I meet you first, if I meet you online first, I'm probably gonna call you by your online ID if I see you in public.
Yes, but thankfully Gabe is part of my online persona, so there you go. I'll be back. I've had too much sugar and I need to go brush my teeth, and it should take me like no time at all.
Okay.
All right.
But I'm so fucking sore. Pardon my language.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, no. I just got out of work not too long ago, and I just got drugged into the live chat.
I always get drugged into a chat with and do this live stream.
Oh, I just simply said ho 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 you ho to Rational Outlaw, and he sends me a Hangout link.
That was your first mistake.
Well, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yep.
Not that.
All right. So how do we keep YouTube entertained?
Tell them to go watch someone else besides Rational Outlaw. See? Yeah, I knew it. I knew if I said something about Rational Outlaw, he'd come right back.
Trying to sabotage my channel.
I don't want to sabotage the channel. I'll just say just go watch Cog Grinder.
Cog Grinder already has
No,
more.
I literally haven't had a video in 2 months.
Still better content than Rational.
Hey, you said you liked my content.
I'm joking. Take a joke.
Meanie.
Oh, the stories I could tell.
Plus, my content is not that great.
No, your content is good.
I wouldn't say it's amazing. I wouldn't say it's better by any means. But I just kind of come off the cuff and I'm just like, yeah, here's the thoughts.
Well, anyways, what do we think of the Fusion's little videos so far?
I want to end my life.
Same.
I told you they were cringy, and we still have one other to go through.
Oh my god, why are you doing this to us?
Because it's fun.
See,
we don't.
You and I, Coque, we're all trapped. You and I are trapped in his basement, so we have to be obligated to watch his videos.
You can stay. There is a hang up button for such an occasion.
No, we're contractually obligated to because he locked us in his basement, so we'd have to watch his videos. We only get to get out of the basement unless we if we watch these videos.
He said he'd let us go if we watch the Fusion videos.
All right, so
at least he's not dressed up in F-less chaps showing you his dong.
I don't know that. It's dark and damp.
I think Gabe would like that though.
What? Wait, did you actually say you would do that? What the fuck?
No, I'm saying I think you
heard it first here, everybody. Rational Outlaw wears assless chaps with his dong out.
No. I'm sure you would probably like that.
No!
This went rated PG-13 to rated R real fast.
This is disappointing. I've gone from a good vape to not being able to find my vape mod. And being
I guess you could say it went from rated R for rational.
Well, you guys are the ones who started it, so All right. So, any more thoughts on the current videos we just watched?
Yes, Rational's an old man.
So far we've learned that Fusion is cringy.
They cannot animate their animator should be fired.
Yes, their animator should be fired.
Thank you.
And we've also established that Rational is old, wears assless chaps, and his dong hangs out, and that Gabe is using a shitty vape.
Does your dong hang low? Does it? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow?
My boyfriend
over your shoulder like a Yankee Doodle soldier. Hang low.
You keep this up, boyfriend. I won't give you not your birthday. Give you your Christmas present. You better be nice to me.
What? We're all gonna get banned from Reginald's channel.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
We're all one dong comment away from getting banned.
All right, I'm gonna start the next video.
Hey, YouTube's gonna kick us all off. YouTube's gonna kick us off eventually. We might as well go out while having fun.
That's true.
Why don't we make YouTube content? So,
I mean, it's pretty easy to make fun of me. So,
dude, me simply, if I start switching content and I mention God in any way, shape, or form, or my Christianity, that's one of the things that YouTube deems as controversial and will demonetize you for it.
That's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. I think everybody should be able to say whatever the heck they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Channel.
All right.
Okay, start the video.
All right, I'm gonna screen share. All right, everyone can see. All right, Adolf and the alt-right reindeer.
oh my God.
Oh no. Please
Oh,
end my
Papa.
life. I have a knife right here.
Oh my god.
I've got a sharp blade. I think I'm gonna end my life here.
This is what we're gonna see when we die. When they say your life flashes before your eyes, you're gonna be reliving these videos.
All right.
The North Pole, freezing my flippity floppity ears off to tell you a classic Christmas story. The timeless tale of Adolf, the alt-right reindeer.
See, hold on right there. See, I was under the impression that the only alt-right tale was the tale of Kraut on the Discord server. So this is going to be a new one for me.
Oh god, let's not bring him up here, please.
I'm trying my best to get away from that drama.
I mean, I don't
Let's
care.
just wearing
In general.
Let's cover something else though for the alt-right thing. First off, Trump isn't alt-right. I'm sure we can all agree on that. And the alt-right, which I'm going to be doing a video on this. I'm doing a video on this, and the alt-right is not right-wing. It's a misnomer. They're actually left-wing. Because if you look at the majority of alt-righters, they're socialists. So that doesn't make them right-wing by default. They're nationalists.
Well, look at it like this too. So Trump at best is nationalistic, but it's not that he is a racist. It's that he cares more about. He's like patriotic nationalist.
Mm-hmm.
He cares more about the state of the nation than he does about the affairs of other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he wants to put America first. If you want to, you could say he's got a very America first type strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I really wish you would have told me that you were streaming, because I would have sent you a video of Cenk Uygur showing his extraordinarily sexist side. He apparently did an interview with Karen Strom.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking, he demanded that she thank her for feminism and giving her the right to vote. He said, "You need to thank feminism. Give me a thank you. Either that or shut up and make me a ham sandwich."
Gee.
So here he is following this Me Too movement, and then all of a sudden, boom, his demons are coming out, and all he had to do is give a little "I'm sorry," and everybody's turning the other way. He says what Trump did was horrendous.
Well, if you want,
it wasn't locker room talk.
If you want, we can look at the video after this one.
Or give me a sec. Play this Adolf, whatever it is. I'm gonna go find my vape because I really want it.
All right.
And then I will. I'll find the video.
All right.
He opens with that fat-ass Santa preparing for another year of bringing toys to all the good little girls in Goyim. The head reindeer on Fatty Cake's crew is a tough buck named Adolf. That's a tough name to grow up with, but he made the best of it by being a prick. Anyway, there's a young female reindeer, Rudy the Rookie, who wants to try out for the team. Because when you're a reindeer in the North Pole, pulling a sleigh is pretty much the only thing you can do for a living. Basically that or porn.
Is this the tryout for Santa's holiday sleigh team?
Beat it, Snowflake. You do not belong here. And it is not holiday. It is Christmas.
Stay with your own kind. They're mixed breed reindeer.
You'll never fly with us. Go home.
Wait a minute.
Just as much right to...
Mm-hmm.
What are they? Okay. Again, why? I thought that they were above stuff like this. Maybe I'm wrong about fusion.
Why? What about it?
The basically, like, they're implying the whole mixed race thing. Like, maybe I'm looking not deep enough into this. Continue.
Try it for Santa's team as you do.
Ha ha ha, das ist triggered.
Oh, okay.
What?
Okay, never mind. I see what they're. I didn't see that they were actually like white facing the reindeer and stuff. Never mind. I get it now.
Dicks.
Wow, the left is so intolerant. You libtard lame deals with your affirmative action. You are ruining.
There is actually, in a sense, affirmative action, or if you want to say quotas still, even in the United States, which I believe is technically illegal because under the law, I don't think it, although I don't know how colleges are getting away with it, I don't think it is technically legal, because if we saw the exact opposite with blacks not being allowed because they were black and whites were being allowed, there would be complete outrage. And I'm pretty sure they would be sued. And the loss would go towards, you know, the blacks who would sue the school. And that's where it's because there's this misconception that only blacks or other minority races are covered by the race or color discrimination laws that our country has, but that's actually untrue. It covers everyone, so even whites are covered under that. So if a white was discriminated against in hiring over another person who's not quite as qualified, or you know the whole deal behind that,
meritocracy.
Person who's white could sue that employer for discrimination. And same thing if it was a man who was not hired because he was a man, was hired in his place, who was lower qualified than him, that man could sue for gender discrimination. These laws don't just cover these considered minority classes; they cover everyone. They don't just.
Fantastic! I could sue my current job for both gender and color discrimination.
In that
case,
you could prove it. Yeah, there's a certain amount of proof you have to show. It's difficult, but yes, you can. It's not just blacks or women who can just sue the employer for sex discrimination or color or race discrimination. It's anyone who falls into that. So whites are included in that, men are included in that, all of that under the federal law. Now there's certain things that aren't covered in federal law, like sexual orientation isn't covered under the law. That would have to be if your state has a particular law protecting sexual orientation, or some other classes that are considered protected classes. So that's a misconception that a lot of people seem to have about our laws in employment and housing and all those different areas. All right, we ready to continue?
Oh, well, real quick, I do have a quick comment on the whole alt-right thing. Versus like alt-right and Trump thing. Like many people are saying, you know how like the biggest thing that the alt-right talks about is the race realist argument.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things. The alt-right is a fringe group, so they're not as prominent as one might think. You can try to lump white nationalists in with the alt-right.
Mm-hmm.
And say that that there's a larger amount of people, but there's not that many members left in the KKK. When it comes to like groups, like if you go look at the alt-right versus feminism's there's way more people that are involved with feminism than there are in people involved in the alt-right.
Oh yeah.
We've seen the rallies that they've held, that they were outnumbered 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to like Antifa versus the alt-right. But in another sense, honestly, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares if there's a limited amount of people that hold these beliefs? That they're not harming anybody except for people who are all caught up in their feelings by holding these beliefs anyways. So even
Oh, I was just going to add on to that. Before this, a whole looking at the alt-right, we never looked at radicals like this. We would always ignore the KKK and everything. And all of a sudden, we're now looking at them again, because there's been, for many, many years, like the KKK has been holding rallies all across the country in different areas, like in Washington, D.C. They've been holding those things for years, and we've always ignored them. Why are we all of a sudden now paying attention to them? They don't matter.
Right. That was the whole thing. Until the Trump presidency, the alt-right would have never seen the light of day. You know, it's one of those things that there's such a fringe group that, you know, sure, you know, you can try to lump in, you know, white nationalism with them just to try to make your point. That, you know, oh, these are a bunch of racists. But the fact of the matter is, you know, that they just see a decline in Western civilization, and at most, a lot of the alt-right who are, like you said, they're really just like left. Even if there are conservatives, you know, as part of this group, they align more with the left, like PragerU said. They align more with what the left is because of their identitarian politics. You know, all their politics are identitarian in nature.
Not even just that, just their economic views, because most of the alt-right are socialists. They are Marxists. Like if you look at even Sean Spicer, the famous alt-writer or infamous alt-writer.
Right.
He has openly admitted to liking communism. He thought there was a valid point that Marx said, and they're socialists.
Well,
that puts them.
I could get into that. I could get into that conversation as a whole too. I've got a buddy. I'd like to do a video on this at some point. But we'll continue with this, and we'll argue that point or talk about that point here in a bit. We'll continue with the video.
All right.
The North Pole. Santa only hires the best reindeer. Only the alphas. I told you will never replace us.
Yous will not replace us. Yous will not replace us. Yous will not replace us.
That Adolf was a real piece of work. He didn't want brown deer mixing with the white deer, and Santa agreed. But old fatty eggnog head had bigger problems to deal with. His daughter Ivanka Claus was henpecking him to death. Wow, what a great crowd. Would you look at them? They love me. Beautiful crowd. The Easter Bunny never gets crowds like this. That I can tell you. Darling Easter Bunny.
That's actually a good voice actor for Trump.
Very little support. Sad. Delete your account, you dotard.
The elves are threatening to unionize.
No unions.
I'm gonna move this workshop to China.
We won't lose any more jobs to China. We're bringing factory jobs back to the North Pole bigly. Shoe factories, coal plants, asbestos manufacturing. Great jobs if you're at home.
Of course they're comparing Trump to Adolf Hitler. I mean, it's getting kind of starting to become a joke at this point. Somebody suggested to Epic Rap Battles of History, do Trump versus Adolf Hitler. I'm like, come on, guys. This is getting really stupid at this point. Don't like Trump. This is getting stupid.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Behind on deliveries. We already got pulled for Neiman Marcus. I hate the North Pole, Daddy. Hate it. I never should have left New York.
The shoes will be delivered in record time. Very quickly. I have my best reindeer on the job. Adolf is doing an incredible job. Tremendous.
Adolf, alt-right reindeer, will never get through this blizzard.
A lot of people had hoped Ivanka Claus would be the rational one in the family, the one who could bring some common sense to the North Pole. But she has the same bad DNA as Santa, and there's no good way to mix those ingredients together. But Ivanka was right about one thing. Adolf couldn't blitzkrieg his way through that storm. A blizzard like that requires finesse. Sometimes to move like a snowflake, you have to be a snowflake.
And now they're trying to take their insult. Let's just move on.
Has everyone gone completely insane?
They're trying to take their insult that everybody calls them and turn it into a ha-ha, we're better than you type moment.
Yeah. It's just so stupid.
Adolf and the alt-right reindeers are awful, but so are the Christmas-hating penguins. La 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 la, and Santa's just making everything worse. He's polarizing the poll.
Bitch, don't even get me started on those clauses. That Ivanka is a slave driver. The whole family is a hot mess.
I wish I could just get out of here forever. Move to California, open a juice bar.
No. No. I will shoot you, little reindeer. And I don't even like shooting animals.
Here's
another question. I asked you.
Yeah, you're a bit robot-y there. What was your
Rudolph
question?
is a guy.
Yeah, I think this Rudolph is still a guy. They just have a female voice actor.
No, it's a female.
When's the...
Well, the voice actor is a female, but I think the...
No, it's a female. You can tell by the eyelashes. Like, she has very feminine-looking eyes. It has a very feminine-looking face.
You're
Kai, you sound you sound extraordinarily robot-y.
I don't know.
Any other points we want to make right here?
I find it amazing that BuzzFeed just came out with an article that said all of Santa's reindeer were female reindeer in this very video.
Oh, yeah. Whose dog is that?
That's mine. I'm gonna run out real quick.
All right.
Where's my keys?
Hello.
Continue.
You guys hear me?
Find time to be spiritual.
Girl, go. I mean, what's stopping you?
Me.
I can't fly. Maybe Adolf.
Cheer up. Look, I got you a gift.
Oh, they're fabulous.
This is just so cringy. Oh.
You expected anything different?
Todd, can you mute yourself for a sec?
Mute yourself.
I'm gonna mute you. Oh, never mind. He muted himself. All right. So this is the worst part of the video. I felt where they brought in these stupid pumps and they were.
Robotic-y?
Yes, you're still very robotic-y.
I don't know why then.
This I felt was like.
Let me make a suggestion. This happens to me sometimes. Leave the hangout and come back in.
All right, I guess he'll come right back. Anyways, this part of the video.
Yeah, sometimes get robot-y and if it tends to fix it. I don't know why.
Interesting. This I felt this part of the video was just
hello.
Absolute dumb. Yes, your voice is a lot better now.
Okay, so here's a question I was trying to say the whole damn time. Yeah. Why do they take children's Christmas stories and put political shit in them? Are they trying to get children to watch them?
Because I don't think they're for children so much as they're just for young adults. Probably.
I go in the line of young adult and I find this stupid.
They're just cringy videos.
Why did they take Princess Jasmine and draw her and Aladdin crying, saying that they lost their health care?
Somebody.
Hey, is it better for my sound, guys?
What?
Is it better for my sound?
Yeah.
Mute myself.
Yeah, you were making a lot of noise earlier.
Oh yeah, that was my keys.
It was.
All right, are we ready to continue?
Look! Oh my god, bitch, you're flying.
I really am. These pumps are magic.
They're not magic, Booty. I stole them from Ivanka's workshop. But she stole the shoe design from someone else. I guess it's not really stealing.
You're the magic queen, Rudy. I had it in you all along. All you in yourself and the boost of confidence you get from a new pair of shoes.
Can this get just this is just so cringy and stupid.
This is pretty bad.
It's not funny at all. It's just full of. It's just all awful.
It's full of Marxist garbage. It's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh, won't you guide that snake? Everybody else, Jack these Santa Claus's shoes full of to give to all the fabulous girls and boys. While they didn't change the discriminatory don't-do policy, I guess the change comes in later. But the story doesn't end there. Old fashioned Santa went on to establish a white ethno state.
Trump has never said he wants to establish a white ethno state. Stop with your bullshit there, Fusion.
On the North Pole.
No.
Yes?
All I was going to say is the lady I'm talking to, the feminist, she doesn't even, she doesn't think Trump's a good president, but even she doesn't buy into this, radical, he's a white supremacist type garbage. She actually has a head on her shoulders. She doesn't like Trump, but she actually has a head on her shoulders and doesn't buy into this whole, out all the Mexicans and destroy everybody. She just thinks he's incompetent, not smart enough to do the job, which should be the reason everybody doesn't agree with whatever president is in office. It shouldn't be all this added, he's a white supremacist garbage. If you don't think he's fit for the job, okay, that's your opinion. But that should be it. It shouldn't be adding he's a sexist, racist, homophobic, whatever.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's actually proving that he's a sexist, racist, homophobic, whatever.
Flash with the Antifa la 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 until the ice sheet melted and the whole North Pole fell into the ocean. Ivanka went back to New York where she was pinched for elf labor abuse and sent up to Bedford Hills Correction.
I hate it.
Meanwhile, old Rudy went out west to California
and then later on, I came around and shot that reindeer and gave it to a poor family. I don't know.
I'm still trying
I'm more
to figure
concerned
out
with this talking reindeer than anything else.
Yeah, I'm confused by the fact that I don't think Donald Trump has ever, I know this is completely stupid, but I'm trying to think of it through their eyes as well. Form at all, has Trump ever given the impression he does not love his daughter? From the most feminist lens, where has he ever stated he doesn't love his daughter? It just does not add up. I mean, even if you want to go to the creepy angle that the feminists try to spin, where he said that if she wasn't my daughter, he would find her attractive. That's still, even on a creepy level, that's still saying he loves his daughter. So why is he locking her up in this cartoon? On all fronts, even the extraordinarily ridiculous creepy angle, is he locking her up here? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
opened up that juice bar she'd been dreaming up. She called it Silver and Gold and says she's a Buddha Kabbalist. What the hell that is? In any event, she went down it.
It just makes me want to shoot that deer even more and more.
I told you it was a she.
You just have reindeer steaks.
So that's it, folks. That's the end of the story. Merry freaking Christmas, everybody. And to all the kids out there, Happy Hanukkah.
Well, that's it.
How lame.
No disrespect to any Jewish people out there, but I'm just simply saying this because I know exactly what they're doing here. Screw them and their Happy Hanukkah. It's shallow because they don't mean it. Trying to stick it to Trump.
Just corporate.
Yeah, it's not genuine.
Just corporate. That's all it is.
I have no. I have no issues with Jewish people. I've had Jewish bosses. I've had Jewish friends. No issues with Jewish people at all. Screw your happy Hanukkah is because it's corporate shallow and you're doing it simply because Trump is saying he wants to restore Merry Christmas instead of
Happy holidays.
it just solely being Happy Holidays, which I agree with him. It should be both. I don't know why we're doing away with Merry Christmas. It's just stupid.
Hey, real quick, how's the noise level?
Oh yeah, when what was it? I think there's supposed to be someone said I think it was Eisenwith said that in his video because he said 90% of the U.S. population celebrates Christmas. 90%. Well, and that's including people who don't consider themselves Christian.
Right. Hey, real quick, guys, how's the noise level?
Oh, it's absolutely horrible. Take your volume level to your microphone and just crank it all the way to the left until you see the 0.
All right.
You're perfectly fine in all seriousness.
All right, I'm gonna go to the video you sent me. Okay, Gabe? Gabe. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's perfectly cool. I sent you 2, but you can if you only have time for one, that's perfectly fine. You can watch the other one in your own free time. But it's always fantastic whenever Fat Brown Buffalo constantly spout out the whole Trump is sexist for what he said back in 2005. Yet he apparently has some massive demons in his closet. And he's also apparently racist as well, which I'm uploading my video where I'm reading the first half of the article from Gateway Pundit, and then I'm going to read the second half of the article, which is the racism part, later. But apparently Anna Kasparian was passed over for hosting the first hour of the Young Turks because she was a woman. Yeah, so Jank is being extraordinarily, which is no surprise to me, but he's being very hypocritical, and he's calling Donald Trump this sexist misogynist, yet in his earlier days had this rating scale for women on a 5-tier scale. Women he would date, women he would date and then screw, women he would screw, and then women he wouldn't even look at if they were too ugly. That. And yet he says Donald Trump's the sexist. But you should enjoy this.
All right, let's take a look.
Post offices. I read an account in a man's diary from back then that they tried to push him off a cliff out of chivalry. He didn't report the attempted murder. They got into all kinds of criminal activities and stuff like that. You could even say they were domestic terrorists. And a lot of the suffragists were like, you're just demonstrating that women shouldn't have the vote. And a lot of public sentiment back then, and this is the history that we don't get told. A lot of public sentiment back then was, well, if this is how women behave, like, should they get the vote? And another thing, too, there were politicians in the UK who were discussing giving the women the vote long before the suffragettes started up. And
oh, yeah. I'm sure, Karen, if they continue to ask politely, men would have given it to them anyway. Men have been such sweethearts throughout history. I'm sure they would have just said, hey, women, even though we denied you the right to vote for the entire history of mankind, literally mankind, if you just stuck around and been polite, we'd have given it to you anyway. Come on, Karen, you got to realize that's the biggest load of horse crap you've ever heard in your life.
They took a poll in England of women And 70% of them didn't want the vote. They thought.
I know, and the women in Saudi Arabia want the burqa. I know, it's because of the culture that they grew up with. Karen, give me a thank you. Look, everything's going great, but you're not being reasonable. You're being ridiculous. Give me a thank you. Give me a thank you for feminists for getting your right to vote. Otherwise, stop voting and go make me a ham sandwich.
The expansion of the franchise is a lot more complicated than what we've been led to believe. The women in that poll, the main reason that they cited was they did not want to be subject to the draft. And they thought that if they did, because this was the main justification for giving men the vote. And in most places, the amount of time between universal male suffrage and universal female suffrage was as little as 50 years, sometimes as little as 10, right? So it's never been a history of always men had the vote and made women wait for millennia. No, men got suffrage because men could be drafted. And SCOTUS even confirmed that in 1917 when there was a Supreme Court challenge saying the draft was unconstitutional because it was involuntary servitude. And SCOTUS outright said that the draft is constitutional because it is a reciprocal obligation on the part of citizens for the rights they received from government, right? So you have we have this idea that these decisions, right, that these differences between how men and women were treated, we have been told that all of this was just sexist and arbitrary and it was for no good reason. It was just because penis, right? But that's 70% of women in that poll. They were really concerned about the fact that they would have to take on all kinds of male responsibilities, that they would lose all kinds of privileges like the exemption from the draft, their right to financial support.
Karen, yada, yada. Do you want the right to vote or not? Are you going to give a thank you to the women who...
Gee.
All I hear is a big man child.
Yeah. Yeah. All I hear is a big buffalo being a man child.
Yeah, and then the other video, is him just completely. Whether you watch it here or whether you watch it later, is just him completely. And I'll send it to you, Cog, if we don't get to it today. Okay. But saying that they watch porn for research and that who doesn't, whatever, some soccer team was rating men on like the cheerleaders and stuff and on how hot they were, and he was saying, well, that's just locker room talk, that's no big deal, and he said it's completely different from what Trump was doing.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, he's a total hypocrite. Which I'm not shocked by this. Actually, it's amazing how when it was dug up by the Gateway Pundit, that all of a sudden his demons were coming out, and he gives just an "I'm sorry, I'm sorry for my past," because, well, at least it's not a conservative.
All right, you ready for the second?
Yeah, you're gonna have to skip forward a little bit. There's some. It's
all right.
Front at the beginning of it.
How much?
There we go.
Right there.
Go back a little bit.
Back a little.
Yeah. Stop. Why is it focusing on COG?
Homeland Security is facing 2 lawsuits because Janet Napolitano is
because I'm sexy.
A hostile work environment. Now, this is very interesting because oftentimes when we hear about hostile work environments, it's because male employers will do something to harass female employees, and then we hear about those lawsuits. It's very common. However, in this case, the people who filed the lawsuit were men who claim that the hostile work environment included sexually charged games, intended to humiliate and intimidate the male employees. Now, it brings up a very interesting issue because...
How is that a very interesting issue? That does happen. Although it may not be as common, it does happen.
Whenever a guy complains about a hostile work environment, he's immediately pawned off as weak. And is that acceptable?
Totally unacceptable.
No, I don't know if you're being serious, right? That was a very interesting tone you had there. But it's interesting to see that as more and more women gain positions of power in certain workplaces, all of a sudden the dynamic is changing, right? And for a long time, people thought, oh, only men can sexually harass women. It's not as common when it happens to men, but it happens on both sides.
Look, let's keep it real. Okay, so is it unacceptable? Of course it's unacceptable. Of course you shouldn't do it, right? And you know, and if a guy complains about it, he's got all the right in the world to complain about it, etc. But like, as a guy, I think like if I had a really hot boss who just kept wearing like, you know, kind of tight clothing, etc., and kept coming on to me when I was single and making me uncomfortable by cornering me in the office, that might not be so bad. Right? Yeah, of course, not all the bosses are hot. I know, right? Yeah, but no, seriously, it's not about actually coming on to you. That's way crossing the line as it is anyway. But if they're kidding around about sex and it creates a hostile work environment, I'm gonna bad Jenk is gonna have his double standard. But you couldn't take a joke about sex.
How about this?
And you're a dude.
How about this?
You see what I'm saying?
I get what your argument is, but I don't think you're putting yourself in there. So let's say, for instance, you're not an employer, right? You're an employee, and you are a lower level employee, and you're looking to get promoted. And the place is run by women, okay? All of the upper management consists of women. Yeah. And you hear them openly talking about like, oh, did you see Chris? Did you see Chris Matthews? So much better looking than Jank, right? We're going to give Chris Matthews the raise. We're going to give him the promotion. And they don't say it explicitly, but they imply it.
Seriously, look, if they're using it as a form of promotion, etc., and they're discriminating against you because they're like, Jank, he's a little rotund. So we got an issue, so we're not going to promote him. Yeah, of course that sucks, right? But if they're, you know, playing ass slap football and they're like, oh, yeah, then I was having sex with that guy and then I was riding him or whatever, and I happened to hear that, I'd be like, so what? Have at it.
What if it's an everyday thing and it's distracting, though?
Oh, come on. How distracting could it be? Oh, then I was doing this to him and then he did it to me this way. I mean, okay.
That's not distracting? I can't think of anything that's more distracting than that.
If that's your boss and she wants to tell you about it, I mean, it could be weird. It could be a little creepy.
Yeah, it probably
This is the cringiest double standard I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. Also, it is distracting. I get distracted if anybody just simply talks during, like, or, you know, casual job environments. But if people are just sitting around talking and not doing their job, then I get distracted and it bugs the heck out of me. If you're doing your job and talking, fine. But I don't want to hear about, you know, your sexual exploits while I'm behind the counter flipping somebody's burger and making them a sandwich.
Right.
Whatever.
It's very uncomfortable no matter who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
can say it here because it's online and we're joking around and that's fine, but in my real everyday day-to-day life, stuff like this kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable if it's brought up.
Yeah. Not the
honestly, any NSFW topic, even if it's online, like if someone starts getting a little too risque, let's look at it this way. I follow like three female accounts online on Twitter. Okay. I won't go into who. You can probably guess if you looked at my who I'm following. And I have these accounts muted. Because I am not comfortable with the way that they present themselves. Will I allow them to present themselves? Absolutely. That's why I don't follow. That's why I follow them, because I support their work and I support their message. But I don't want to see it.
Exactly.
You know? So I mute them because I don't want to see it every day. I don't want to be flipping through my feed and see, you know, the stuff that they post. You know, their normal posts are pretty all right, but I don't want to see their more risque posts. So I've got them muted.
That's why I stay away from Max Bear.
All right, I'm gonna. All right.
Take the management and be like, I'm really uncomfortable. This kind of frank sex talk has made me really verklempt. Okay, so now if you do, I get it, and of course we have to apply the same standards to men and women. I'm not going to hate on you for it. I'm just going to go, really? That's all. I'm allowed to say that, aren't I?
Mm. But I feel like at TYT we live in a bubble. Like there's sex talk constantly. There's like we look at porn for research, like that kind of stuff. Like every single day.
Okay, for who looks at porn, unless you're in a pornography kind of industry, who looks at porn for research in news?
Scientists. Well, it depends on the thing, if all honestly. It depends on what you're doing with the so-called research.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually doing real
It could
research.
be looking. Well, I mean, think of it. There is a Donald Trump porno out. They're so interested in Donald Trump's sex exploits, they could be looking at that. Whatever you're into, dude.
I think, if I recall, there's supposed to be a porno of I think of many of the different presidents. Maybe not the old ones, but the more modern ones. I think there's like a porno with it.
Yeah,
hey, real quick before I mute myself, is there an anti-Trump porno called "Not My Anus"?
I don't know.
I don't watch porn. I've never seen a naked chick, but I'm just simply saying there.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Donald Trump.
All right, ready to continue?
Yes. As I stick this wood in my mouth.
A different workplace, like you're doing accounting, right? You're doing accounting. You're doing your numbers. You're crunching those numbers up.
Okay, last thing on this. Look, I know you're crunching the numbers up. Are you kidding me? The sex talk's gonna be a million times better. You have any idea how bored you are crunching numbers? Yeah. Like, it's somebody.
No one does sex talk in accounting because it doesn't come with the job. Now, in sexual harassment cases, I know a little bit about the law. In areas in which there isn't a lot of sex talk, you can't. You can sue for potentially for sexual harassment or a hostile work environment. However, like places like in which there is a lot of sex talk areas in which it can be involved in with work, like let's just say a very obvious example, a sex store, a store that sells sex toys and all that. You can't sue for hostile work environment for like sexual harassment or anything like that because it comes with the job, basically. Because that's what the environment is, that you're selling sexual things. However, when it's an area in which it has nothing to do with that, like accounting, yeah, you can sue for sexual harassment and hostile work environment because accounting has nothing to do with sex.
Mm-hmm. It's like at one of my job sites. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to dox myself.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with all of my job sites were just public service restaurant type jobs, etc. Teenage girls. You will never feel more uncomfortable than a bunch of teenage girls that have the foulest mouths in the world. Because they would talk about jokingly having STDs, or they would talk about their periods, and it would make me genuinely uncomfortable to the point of me wishing I could leave the office, but I couldn't because you had to wait for the boss to get there to give you your till and everything. But I reported that, and it's so uncomfortable when they talk about that, and then they ended up getting me fired because I made them uncomfortable.
Because
even though I barely talked to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what I missed? I kind of missed some stuff because my screen went haywire.
Oh, in short, I was just saying, there's nothing more uncomfortable than when you're in a work environment with a bunch of teenagers that have little to no respect for their environment. At a job that I had, I was working with teenage girls, And it was a customer service job. They were my coworkers, and before work started, they would talk about their periods. They would talk about, you know, having an STD, all this other stuff that I felt absolutely uncomfortable with hearing. But you can't leave the place because you have to wait for your boss to come through and get your till ready and everything like that and get you prepared for the workday. That's how it works.
Right.
But nothing happened. My manager couldn't do anything. He wasn't the higher up, but nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I ended up getting fired from HR because I apparently made these girls uncomfortable, even though I barely talked to anybody at work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a complete double standard where, you know, girls can be completely sexual and inappropriate anytime they want to. If a guy is uncomfortable with that, tough luck. Tough
Mm-hmm.
luck.
That's
But
unfortunate.
if you simply exist and they feel uncomfortable around you, then you're done.
Yeah.
I know that from experience.
All right. Can you mute yourself, Cog?
Say again.
You're making a lot of noise.
Mute yourself.
Here. Well, I'm done making noise for a little bit.
Okay.
If I make noise, I'll probably start muting again.
Okay.
Orgies, listen, I'm busy crunching numbers.
Wow.
That sentence has never been said. Okay, and so let's say you and Irina in the office are talking about the Olympic divers, and you're like, "Whoa, look at that package! Wow, I'd like to dive into that." Okay, I'm like, "Yeah, so what?" I mean, if one of the guys I don't know comes by and says, "Yeah, I felt really uncomfortable about that," like, dude, man up. Okay, how ripe for a lawsuit am I?
What if the women are making comments about your appearance, right? Like, oh, you know, your ass is looking tight in those jeans today.
No.
Like, is that acceptable? Is a guy considered weak if he complains about that to management?
Did I say that out loud? I didn't say anything, did I? Oh, come on.
So if a guy complains, it's not okay. But if a girl does, it's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yep.
I mean, to tell me to man up because I'm uncomfortable with something of any caliber is stupid, especially when it's a work environment and I'm forced to have to be around these girls for 8 to 9 hours at a time.
True.
I shouldn't have to be told to man up because I find not safe for work topics uncomfortable to hear while I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're called not safe for work.
But nobody has any couth anymore, guys. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And the people who do actually treat you with respect and who are actually kind to you, the reason I made the girls uncomfortable was because I told one of them, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all over Facebook. And then they decided to lie and say I made them uncomfortable when I was at work as a guest. So they basically lied to get me fired.
Hello, I just got up.
You were sleeping?
Hey, I saw you in the other stream the other day.
Yeah, he joins us quite often on here. All right, are we ready to finish this video?
Yes, gay man.
Let's keep it real, okay? Women have a rightful concern when somebody says, "Oh, you got a tight ass," etc. There's issues of sexual assault, uncomfortable. All those things are absolutely real. If a woman says to a guy, "You got a tight ass," 99.5% of the time, the guy's going to be like, "Yes."
And absolute hypocrisy in which, right here, just how you can't get any more hypocritical than that.
You see what I'm saying? I've never had a woman compliment my looks where I thought, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
I think there are multiple reasons why women have never given a compliment.
Shank, I think you're giving yourself a little bit too much credit. I don't think people compliment your looks at all. Somebody said in the comment section of that video, you know, the only two people that love him are his wife and his mom. And even that's an obligation.
That's pretty bad.
It is, but it's like, you know, he goes around saying that he supports the Me Too movement and all this other garbage, yet when his skeletons come out and this is brought to light, all of a sudden it's, I'm sorry for doing this. I was wrong. And he proselytizes himself in front of the altar of feminism, and they'll forgive him because, hey, he's on their side. He's their guy. So it doesn't matter if he's done the sexual harassment or the sexual assaulting or any of that crap. He's their guy, so they'll automatically forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Donald Trump says something back in 2005. Something I don't agree with. I don't like what Trump said at all, but he said something in 2005, and he's automatically seen as a sexual deviant, somebody who sexually assaults women, simply because women all of a sudden came forward and said so.
Also, it was in a private conversation. It wasn't like in a huge public.
Yes. And my issue is this. It has been proven that one of the women that has accused Trump is a diehard Hillary Clinton supporter. And Lisa Bloom, you know, the hypocritical feminist lawyer who represented Kathy Griffin, yet was also going to represent Harvey Weinstein because money. She has said that she will offer money to any of Trump's paid gigs and even pay off one of the accusers' mortgage.
Sounds totally legal.
So why, from an accuser's standpoint, why wouldn't I go and say Donald Trump did this to me?
Well, if you had some foreshadowing and just, I would say, some slight common sense that maybe this would backfire on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Trump said was gross. Okay, fine, but it's still, the key word was let. That's still consensual. So that's not in any way him forcing himself on anyone. And so far, it seems like every single one of his accusers has some sort of axe to grind. And it's very coincidental that it happened right when he became president of the United States. Mm-hmm. I have a video recorded, downloaded onto my phone, where the accuser, who's the Hillary Clinton supporter, said, quote, as soon as I found out Donald Trump was running for president and was going to become president, that's when I had to tell my story.
Sure.
Oh, I know. Mm-hmm. There's one other Christmas thing. If you want, we can continue this conversation or go into this quick funny article. I forgot that I had it.
Sorry
if I interrupted.
No, you're fine. I'm just simply saying that, you know, we have to think critically. I would say the same thing if the political parties were reversed. But why on earth were these people coming out all these years later? It doesn't make any sense. Could Trump be a creepy old man? Possibly. Is he a sexual deviant? No. Because if he was this big old sexual deviant, then he would still have the same exact pattern of behavior while he's in the White House. He would be another Bill Clinton. He has not shown himself to be another Bill Clinton, in my opinion. Because sexual predators and sexual deviants always repeat their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Trump just has quite a good history if you look into him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he hasn't said some gross things, but again, a journalist that I listened to, H.A. Goodman, who didn't even vote for Trump, he voted for Jill Stein. But even he said, you know, do I find what Trump said reprehensible? Yeah, I find it disgusting, but there is a chance that he could be hitting you and talking a big game and not actually doing the things that he says women let you do.
Right.
Which one?
Which Cenk constantly harps on Trump, yet it's okay when Cenk does it.
Mm-hmm. Like when he said, now go make me a sandwich to that woman.
Mm-hmm. To Karen Strom, who's a very strong, very popular, very famous anti-feminist. She's been on with Bering, she's been on with Sargon. Very well-known anti-feminist.
Mm-hmm.
And just the absolute hypocrisy. And I still can't believe these people. If you don't like Trump, fine. Okay. If you think Trump's this big old sexist, racist, whatever, fine. But then why are you not showing Cenk the exact same kick in the pants that you're showing Donald Trump? Because he's proving himself to do the exact same thing. He's showing himself.
Reasons.
Yeah, he's showing himself to be an actual racist and an actual sexist.
Because he denies the Armenian genocide, like 80% of feminists do.
Oh, the Armenians, they never faced any peril. They never were hurt in any way. Proceed. I talk too much, especially when dipping.
All right. You want to go to the article? I thought this would be a funny note so we could probably end on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm.
I thought this was funny when I was going through it. If you hate Donald Trump, you're going to love these 7 political Christmas cards.
Oh, no. God.
Fucking damn it.
Lord.
Oh,
This
is where it gets funny, because most of these political cards, I could find that they could be interpreted as being pro-Trump, really, most of them. Or, neutral. There's only a couple.
Yep.
There's this resist one. No matter whoever you send these cards, are sure to giggle when they get them, no matter what side of the aisle they're backing.
Sure, the one with the communist fist is definitely for everyone.
Peace on earth.
Fight the power, yo.
Toward men. Like, was this supposed to be a mean one? Like, I mean, that could be just funny. That's pretty neutral, really.
Mm.
And then there's this one. 'Tis the season of miracles. Like, this is also not a anti-Trump thing. Like, most of these weren't. And Christmas is going to be huge. Like, what does some people on the left really think, that these are somehow insults?
The left can't
be huge.
Yeah, they can't. They don't know jokes.
No, they don't. They don't. They really don't. Even if the person's not a Trump fan, it's still clearly meant to be a satirical, neutral joke, not a we must resist. And even then, the person who made the resist card could have very well been mocking the people who are part of the, quote, resistance.
Mm-hmm. And then there's this, the President and Miss Trump wish you a Merry Christmas. Not really an insult.
God.
And, oh, look, Seymour, it's the, I cannot read that name, family holiday letter, or as you like to call it, fake news.
That one is just bad.
It's like,
I think the art's just shit.
Mm-hmm. And what was this one? I can't quite read it very well. We've had tremendous meetings with Santa. Great guy. By the way, good friends of mine, the best. It's like, How are they think these are insults? Seriously. Like, most of these, they aren't really much of an insult, and most of these I could find as being pretty neutral. They're just kind of funny little cards, most of them.
You call them funny, I just call them fucking generic.
Or that.
It's kind of stuff you get at the Hallmark store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except Hallmark has better jokes.
Well, I mean, fortunately, these are at least kind of like it shows that that the people that made these, they can't joke very well, but they're kind of funny. I mean, at least in a like esoterical sense.
Yes, but they still suck.
Yeah. No, I mean they're not amazing by any stretch, mind you. But at least they're like, oh, ha ha. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, oh, that's unironically like pretty bad, but ironically this is kind of funny.
What's the really stupid thing is that somehow regressives think that, oh, you're gonna love this if you hate Donald Trump. Like, none of those are really. There's only like maybe one or two of those that could say insult. Most of them, they're pretty neutral.
Yeah.
Not insult. Is there any particular reason why you're trying to show your nipple there, Gabe?
I'm on a sugar high, and I'm high in general. I don't know.
All right, so
because I can.
Anyone else have any thoughts on this article or the videos we watched?
Not really. They are some of the worst Christmas cards.
All right, so I think we could probably end the stream here, and we can talk a little after if we want. All right, so let's start with
sure.
Cog. Why don't you say your closer? Cog?
Maybe I lied at the beginning. I meant to say that 100% of statistics are absolutely made up. That's the truth.
All right, now Gabe?
Don't put Twinkies on your pizza.
Okay. All right.
He's really lost it.
Bay?
What? Oh, wait, it's over? Finally.
No, your outro.
Fuck the fucking videos.
Love you too. All right. G?
I'm late.
You're late. All right, you guys can follow them all on Twitter. They have their Twitters. There's Cog Grinder. There's Gabe the Samurai. There's Z Command. Sorry, not Z Commander. There's Valentino, guy with the hat. And then there's my Bay, who I guess Coke Wolf is Twitter. And you guys have been watching Ration News. I'm your host, Ration Outlaw. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I'll see y'all later.